On today's inaugural episode of Wrestlecourt, HD is going to talk about SummerSlam, WWE Unreal, which is on Netflix, and other headlines in the world of professional wrestling, aka sports entertainment.
You have him. You've got him. Yeah, you want Brock, you've got him. So, yeah.
Where is "we want Cross" sound like "we want Brock"? I mean, you're trying to wave the fans off or trying to deter them away, from what really they want. You don't have to give them what they want because you are the chief executive officer, head of booking, whatever your title is. But don't lie to them. Don't think they're stupid. You wanted Brock, you got him. That's your response? Vince McMahon didn't do that. You could scream a guy to high heaven. Vince would never turn around and use something else. Vince will let the fans do what they want. That was the thing about Vince. Triple H's trying to change the narrative in the heat of the moment, in a moment where the fans are still cooking, still supporting, still doing their thing. Don't do that. I thought that was dumb. I'm sorry, folks. I think that was the dumbest thing that happened tonight at SummerSlam. I honestly, the matches were the matches. I'm going to get into the matches, of course, but I thought that was the dumbest thing he did. And it was so obvious. And it's all over the internet. And even people are talking about it. In a world where internet has become a sensation to billions across the world, you're going to do something like that? The fans are saying, "We want Cross, we want Cross." You turn around and say, "We want Brock, you got him." No, they don't. They know they got him. That was an incompetent thing he did. I'm telling you, sometimes I'm not a mark. I'm a fan. I've watched this stuff for a long time. I won't give away how many years, but more than most of you would believe. And I'm like, that was the dumbest thing of the night. He couldn't be more dumber than that. So please don't do that to the fans. That's disrespecting the fans. You don't have to give them what they want, but at least say something more competent than what you said. But ladies and gentlemen, as stated, this is the first edition of Wrestlecourt, where I'm going to come through once in a while. This is presented by, of course, the Pod Show by Beat Fact Music. I'm going to come with some wrestling. It's not going to be every week, but I'm going to push the needle with wrestling, of course, because I did it before for WrestleMania. I'm a big fan of wrestling. Of course, I've always been a big fan of wrestling. And I'm going to talk about SummerSlam. I'm going to talk about other things. And I'm just going to do what I do, say what I say, and then, just give my thoughts overall. But before I start the show, shout out to all the performers in the ring tonight and yesterday for SummerSlam. It's not an easy job. I know a lot of people come out with this fake stuff and whatever. It's a story. There's stories that are written. Hopefully the stories get better. The CM Punk, obviously, Seth Rollins situation, as many of you should know by now, is a fantastic story. It's now sounding like there's actually going to be a lengthy storyline, which wrestling is supposed to be about storylines. SummerSlam to me was both nights together. Overall, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I felt like there were some matches you didn't need at SummerSlam. But overall, it was okay. I watched it. I watched both night 1 and 2. I did skim through some of night 1's matches and night 2, but I watched it. I just felt like, it was a good way to introduce a 2-night SummerSlam in no better place than New York City, the New Jersey, New York area, tri-state area. And I felt I felt that was a smart move. If you're going to do something like that, you got to start it in the Mecca states, the tri-state area. You're not going to do it in Cleveland or Boston or somewhere in Kansas City. You're not going to do that. You got to find a city that stands out. You found a city that stands out. You saw it. Everybody saw it. It was fantastic. And I like the whole scene going into SummerSlam, the whole pre-show and just the fan spectacle. I love that stuff because the fans pay their money and they deserve that. I'm about the fans. The fans deserve their money and they deserve their product. So fantastic way to, get SummerSlam going. And I felt one of the smart moves they did was the first match to start off SummerSlam, of course, the tag team match, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker versus Jay and Roman. Some people say, why would they do something like that? You got to get the fans' attention right away. You got two of the biggest stars in all of pro wrestling right now. You do that. Fans are now paying attention, and the rest is history. And that was a very intelligent move to have that match being the opening match, of course. The storyline with that, of course, Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns and then CM Punk, which we'll get to later on. But it was good. It was a good match. I don't have no complaints. And Roman is probably going to take another break to go do a movie. I think he's supposed to do Street Fighter or something, which is cool. And my question out of this is, what are they going to do with Jay? I mean, Jay doesn't need the title. He's as hot as ever. What are they going to do with Jay? What are they going to do with Braun Breaker? Are you not seeing the spark that this man has? Don't sleep on Braun Breaker and WWE writing and booking, whatever you want to call these guys. Please don't. Get this guy going. He should be a world champion within the next year and a half. Yes, I said it. The next year and a half. Last year, you had him win the Intercontinental title. The man was on a tear. He was on a fury. And then you put him in Seth Rollins' stable. Seth Rollins is a good guide for him, but he's already stood out on his own without Seth Rollins. I feel like they're wasting his time. Get this man a world championship. Get him a world championship. That's all I'm going to say. The tag team match, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte beating Raquel and Roxanne Perez. It's a whatever match. That was night 2. Sorry, that was night 1. Whatever. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, that was night 1. Night 1, night 2, whatever. But I don't know. I saw that match and I was like, Sorry, that was night 1. I'm confusing myself already, but yeah, that was night 1. It was an all right match. I mean, Alexa Bliss had a couple of interesting moves in that match, and so did Charlotte, but I think Alexa Bliss actually did a lot of things that I never expected her to do. And I was impressed. I saw some wrestling from her. I was like, wait a minute, did she get herself prepared for this in another way? But she did, and they won the title, so shout out to them. That was good. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, the match that nobody wants to pay attention to because WWE doesn't want anybody to pay attention to it. Sami Zayn is always going to be a fan favorite. He's always going to have his following. I don't care what you say about him. He can look like a bum. People have said he looks like a bum. He's a fantastic professional wrestler. He knows what he's doing in the ring. Karrion Kross, fantastic professional wrestler, knows what he's doing in the ring. Has a fantastic martial arts background. They just don't want to push these guys and they had to put them at SummerSlam because they're two good performers, but the way they wanted to put this match, and of course Triple H's comment that I just talked about earlier in the show is pathetic, but shout out to these two guys. They did their thing. Of course, Sami Zayn winning, Karrion Kross now in a position, his contract is up soon, and the way they're pushing him, which they're not, you know what I mean, they're pushing him out the door. They're not going to resign him, so we'll see what happens. Maybe they're going to surprise us, but I wouldn't put anything. I wouldn't put anything past this WWE regime now that's run by Triple H and whoever it may be. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. A lot of criticisms about the results and the whole scenario, and I'll say this: Jade Cargill is green. But boy, is the talent there. I'm telling you, because when she was in AEW, it was like, oh my God. They're not doing nothing with her. They're just having her with a title, and they're not trying to help her. But there were guys in the back in the AEW that were actually helping her, which was fantastic. But she needed to get that ring sense, and she's getting it now. So her not winning at SummerSlam, I don't see it as an issue. I see the issue is, what are they going to do with her now? Are they going to propel her to continue this journey? Maybe winning the Royal Rumble? We'll see. But Tiffany Stratton, she's improved too. I saw her against Charlotte in WrestleMania. She did some things, and she's earned her stripes. And that's usually how it's going to go. You got to beat the best. You got to fight against the best to really improve. And Jade Cargill has still got some guys, some ladies, I apologize, that I need to see her in the ring with so she could really sharpen her knife, sharpen her ninja swords, and she'll be ready. So maybe a Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, a couple more. I mean, the Naomi feud was fantastic. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. There's a lot for her to get going. So, shout out to both of them. They did a fantastic job. The entertainment match of the night: McIntyre, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Jelly Roll. Waste of time. I'm not even gonna get into that. Like, you had 3 good, talented performers that you just had nothing to do with them, so you threw them into this. So I'm not even gonna waste my time. CM Punk versus Gunther. The match started off slow, but boy, did it pick up in the end. And the finish for CM Punk to win, wow. I mean, they did a fantastic job. Shout out to CM Punk and Gunther, man. What a fantastic finish to that match. But then he said it. He's been saying it from day one. As long as he's here, CM Punk will not be wearing that title. He did wear it for a couple seconds, but then Seth Rollins came in, and boy, did he cash in that Money in the Bank. Oh my gosh. Wow. He cashed in the Money in the Bank. So, yep, he did, and boy, did he make well do of that. He came in, hit CM Punk with a couple of shots with the briefcase, had him all weary, drowsy, had no idea where he was, cashes it in, hits the stomp, and hits the 1, 2, 3, and then him and Paul Heyman mocked the shit out of him, doing his signature cross the legs and all that stuff, Seth swinging the belt, all that. That was fantastic. It was fantastic. I mean, I had some resolutions that something was not right, because when you usually go to Birmingham, Alabama, back then when you saw the great Dr. James Andrews, you got a result right away. Everybody knew the results. And this was before internet. You knew what was going to happen. This case, you didn't hear nothing. I mean, Seth was great, though. He went on, what's the talk show's name? I forget his name again. He went on his show as a guest and he explained it. He did a great job just fooling a lot of people. So I think it was Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen he replaced for the day or something like that, if I'm correct. And yeah, he just did his thing. So that was night 1. That was night 1. Which was pretty good. It was pretty good.
That is John Cena. What? Holy shit! Oh my God! It's the Beast! It's the Beast! The Beast is back! Brock Lesnar!
That was, yeah. So Brock Lesnar has returned. Wow. Brock is back. Brock is back. So that's interesting, to say the least. Again, night 2, fantastic. Way to start. Naomi, Rhea, and Io Sky. Of course, Naomi's Pops was playing the guitar and doing her entrance, which I thought was great. It was special and great match. Naomi doing what she does best, being the villain, pulled those trunks and pulled out the victory. So it was fantastic. That storyline is going to be interesting because Naomi's kind of going to be paying attention to Stephanie Valcour, who she's going to be fighting in Clash in Paris. So we'll see how that goes. We'll divert back to Io and Ripley. Ripley and Io, that's going to be interesting. We'll see. Maybe they become a tag team and win the tag team titles and kind of do that for a bit before they go back at each other for the world title. So we'll see how that goes. But it was fantastic. Just keeping them away from the world title. Rhea hasn't touched that title since losing it before Mania. It's been good. It's a good storyline. Whoever wrote that storyline, they get props from me because usually they don't. So, the 6-pack TLC match. That match was crazy. I was actually impressed. There was a couple of blunders, but that's normal, man. These guys came out and did their thing. The White 6 retained. But this match was just full of wow, these guys are just trying to keep themselves, in position to do great things, and they did. So it was just one of those things, man. 6 good tag team wrestlers, and not tag teams, and they went out and did their thing. So it's it was a great match. It was a great match. Great showing by all 6 teams. Intercontinental title, Becky versus Lyra. The Irish match, representing Ireland in this match, but it's whatever. Sorry, I'm just saying it's whatever. Lyra Valkyrie is a young talent, needs to sharpen her knife, but we'll see where that goes. Solo versus Jacob, the battle of the family, the Noe bloodline continues to absolutely take over shows, and this match was great. Of course, the interferences and all that, but this story is not over. It's far from over, but there's more to come with this. I think SummerSlam kind of did it right with this. AJ versus Dominic. Dominic, the Weasel himself, does it again. He's got that Weasel mentality that has put him in such great positions to do great things. And, I can't get mad at the result here. AJ was just another step in the legacy built and the mindset of the Weasel himself, Dominic Mysterio. So that match was there. And now let's get to Cody and John. John Cena, coming out and saying, well, I'm going to give you the real John Cena. And of course, the speculation everybody heard about Travis Scott. WWE has discontinued their relationship with him, which is good because we don't need guys like that. He's not even a good rapper. Sorry, guys, but I'm just saying he's a great entertainer, not a good rapper. There's a difference. But, Cody and John went back and forth for a minute, and then finally Cody pulled it off. John Cena had his old school entrance, all that stuff, and then what I just played there, Brock Lesnar came in and F5'd him and said, see you later, boy. And he's gone. So Brock Lesnar, John Cena is something that will happen in the future. And, of course, John retiring, so that's coming. So it's going to be interesting how that goes. It's going to be classic. And we know that, things are going to be just as great as they are. But I'll say this. So I'll say this, though. If SummerSlam could be one night, what matches would I choose? The classic one night, I would pick the Reigns-Uso Breaker match. That would be 1. 2 would be definitely CM Punk versus Gunther. That would be 2. Of course, the Rollins cash-in would be a part of it also. The Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill match would be definitely a pick also for the if I did one night. Naomi, Rhea Ripley would definitely be a pick of mine. The 6-pack match would definitely be a pick. And Cody versus Cena. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then of course Seth cashing in, it would be 7. Yeah, 7 matches. The rest of them is whatever. You could have them on Raw or SmackDown or whatever. There's not really anything great about that. So also WWE Unreal, which kind of gets into the real hardcore look at how things are booked, storylines, all that. I mean, it's a great thing, but we've already been invited into that via social media and all sorts of other media outlets. This is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg now of it. So, but it's an interesting 5-part documentary on Netflix. It kind of shows you something that you may haven't been paying attention to, but it's really good. In terms of how they did it. Now, there's some things that are missing out, that they could have put in the documentary, but whatever. You know, that's their stuff. It's Netflix, but yeah, it was all right. I mean, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 if I had to give it a rating. But yeah, it's good. But yeah. So if you get a chance, if you don't own Netflix, who cares? Download it or stream it or something like that. It's available. You can find it. You can also watch it on Daily Motion. Go to the Daily Motion website, type in WWE Unreal, and it's right there. All 5 episodes are there. So I'm just giving you guys the heads up. That's how it goes. And yep, that's how it's going. So, G1 Climax. I have to talk about this because this is really one of the first G1 Climaxes that's kind of giving you a showcase of a lot of young stars, but also older guys are on their way out. And you got the big age guys like David Finlay and, you know, Sonata. But then you have the young guys that are in there. A couple of former young, not young guns. I forget the name. The name that they give them before they actually go out on their excursions and get their characters, develop their characters enough that they can come and be the main roster guys. So, but you know, they all prepare themselves in the dojo. Young lions. That's what they are. And there's a bunch of young lions right now were young lions that are competing in this G1, and it's great to see that because I remember watching them as young lions. So, but this G1, if you look at it, is the first G1 that's missing Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Hiroki Goto, Kenny Omega could be put in there, and Tatsuya Naito. None of them are there. So it's a wide open field for this, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go with this, who wins, and how it's going to be, you know, looked at, and how it's going to be kind of, how is the story going to go through the next little while. So, but it's interesting right now. I think they're on night 11. I've watched up to night 8, so I'm not going to be like, oh, let me go see now. I've watched up to night 8, so I got a little bit of catching up to do, but not a lot. So I'm going to continue on with that, watch night 8, and then take it from there. So Raw and SmackDown are definitely going to be interesting after they call it the Fallout. So this will be the SummerSlam Fallout. But yes, folks, welcome to Wrestlecourt. Wrestlecourt is where I'm going to talk anything and everything wrestling. And I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to be real, and I'm going to be transparent, as great as I can be. And I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. This is Wrestlecourt. Like I said, and I've said, and so has the beginning of the show said, hit that subscribe button. BFAC Music on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever. Subscribe or listen. I appreciate any of that. So, folks, that's a wrap here. So, welcome. Welcome to the new era, Wrestlecourt. Peace.